Lesson 2. Analyzing poem with 4 or more stanza in terms of its elements. Before going to learn a new poem today, let me ask you a question first. Do you feel lonely at times? What do you do when you feel lonely? Kayo po ba ay nakakaranas ng kalungkutan? Ano ang inyong ginagawa kung kayo ay nalulungkot? Think of an experience that caused you sadness and who cheered you up during this time of sadness. Pag-isipan po ninyo ang inyong karanasan kung saan kayo ay nalungkot at kung sino ang nagpasigla sa inyo noong kayo ay nalulungkot. Good day, this is Teacher Jackie and today we are going to talk about poems and literary devices. Lesson 2, Analyzing Poems with 4 or more stanzas in terms of its elements. Let us now have vocabulary down. Let us read some words together. Veils, veils. Jocund, jocund. Wonder, wonder. Pensive, pensive. Solitude, solitude. Now, let's match column A to column B to find the meaning of the difficult words in the poem. Let's try with number 1. Veils. Which do you think is the meaning of the word veils? Is it A, cheerful or light-hearted? B, reflecting deep or serious thought? C, move aimlessly? D, valley? E, situation of being alone? Your guess? Correct. The answer is valley. Let's now proceed with the second word, jocund. Which do you think is the meaning of jocund? A, cheerful or light-hearted? B, reflecting deep or serious thought? C, move aimlessly? Or E, situation of being alone? Your answer? Correct! The answer is A, cheerful or light-hearted. Let's now have number 3, wonder. What do you think is the meaning of wonder? Is it reflecting deep or serious thought? Or move aimlessly? Or situation of being alone? Your answer? Correct! The answer is letter C, move aimlessly. Let's have the fourth word, pensive. Pensive. Is it reflecting deep or serious thought? Or situation of being alone? You only have 2 choices. Correct. The answer is reflecting deep or serious thought. That is pensive. The last word, solitude. Of course, you don't have any other choice there. So the answer for solitude is situation of being alone. Alright, today we are going to read a poem, and the title of the poem is I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud. This is written by William Wordsworth. Before going to that, find out what the speaker in this poem does. Read the poem aloud with accuracy. And by this time, we're going to read together. The first stanza. I wandered, lonely as a cloud, that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, They stretched in never-ending line along the margin of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. Now let us have a quick comprehension checkup. Let's try to answer 5 questions. Number 1. Where do you think is the location of the speaker in the poem? Second question. What was he doing? Number 3. What does he mean when he said, wandering lonely as a cloud? Number 4. What did he see around him? And the last question, how did he describe the daffodils, the cloud? Let's answer the questions one by one. The first question is, where do you think is the location of the speaker in the poem? Yes, the correct answer is, the speaker is in an open field near the bay. You got it right. The second question, what was he doing? Okay, yes, the answer is, he was walking and enjoying the view. The third question, what does he mean when he said, wandering lonely as a cloud? You're right. It means he was just walking aimlessly without any plan in mind, sad and alone. The fourth question, what did he see around him? Yes, he saw the daffodils and the waves in the bay. How did he describe the daffodils, the cloud? Yes, they were golden and happy. They were joyfully dancing. Congratulations, you have just understood the poem that we have read together. Now let us try to understand the elements of the poem. Let's begin with understanding rhyme. Poem is a literary text that conveys emotions, thoughts, and ideas in a clear and creative way, yet in limited number of words. Let's try to take a look at an excerpt below. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived, whom you may know by the name of Annabel Lee. That is an excerpt from Annabel Lee by Edgar Allan Poe. Now rhyme is a repetition of similar sounds, or the same sound in 2 or more words, most often in the final syllables of lines in poems and songs. In our case, we have here ago and no, also see and lee. Those are rhyming words. Let us now move on to the next element. Let's try to understand sensory images. Sensory images are words that tells of things you see, hear, smell, taste, and feel. If it appeals to the sense of seeing, example, When you say green field, that is for sight. Second one, sound appeals to the sense of hearing. Example, loud cry. Third one, touch appeals to the sense of feeling. Example, rough stone. Fourth one, taste appeals to the sense of taste. Example, sweet corn. Let's have the fifth one, smell appeals to the sense of smelling. Example, fragrant flowers. Then let's have the last one, motion appeals to the sense of seeing with another dimension, that is movement. Example, runs fast. Another element that we need to understand are the sound devices. Sound devices are tools used by poets to convey and reinforce the meaning experience of poetry through the skillful use of sound. In poetry, the words and their order should evoke images, and the words themselves have sounds which can emphasize or otherwise clarify images. There are types of sound devices. Let's begin with onomatopoeia. It refers to the use of words whose sound suggests their meanings. Let's say, for example, the bang of a gun, the hiss of a snake, the buzz of a bee, the pop of a firecracker. When you say bang of a gun, this is the sound of a gun. When you say snake, the sound of snake is hiss, so the hiss of a snake. And of course, the bee buzzes, so you say the buzz of a bee. Firecrackers literally pop, so you say the pop of a firecracker. Let us now try to move on to the second sound device, alliteration. Alliteration is a repetition of the same initial consonant sounds at the beginning of at least two words in a line of poetry. Let's try, for example, this one. The frog frolicked frivolously on the forest floor. Consonant sounds, ito po ang tinatawag nating katinig sa Filipino. These are the sounds of the letters B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z. So, for example, this you have F for frog, frolicked frivolously. Those are consonant sounds, and it's for tatlong salitang magkakasunod in just one line. So, frog, frolicked frivolously. It is a technique para magandang pakinggan ang inyong ginagawang poem. So, when you have same initial consonant sounds at the beginning of at least two words in a line of poetry, that is alliteration. Another example is little skinny shoulder blades sticking through your clothes, stuck out by a steel flying fearless and fleet. If you could see, skinny shoulder, it starts with letter S. Dalawang salitang magkakasunod na nagsisimula sa consonant sound na S. At ang nakasunod nito ay dalawang salita na magkasunod at nagsisimula sa consonant sound na F. That is for alliteration. The third sound device is assonance. It is a repetition of vowel sounds at the beginning, middle, or end of at least 2 words in a line of poetry. When we say vowel sounds, okay? When we say vowel sounds are actually 5 letters only in the alphabet. Ito po yung A, E, I, O, U. Those are vowel sounds. Let's see, for example, hear the mellow wedding bell. This is by Edgar Allan Poe. You have here E. So, we have here vowel sounds. Tatlong salitang magkakasunod at mayroong vowel sounds na magkatulad. And the vowel sound is E. That is here, the mellow wedding bell. If you see something like this is assonance. Let's now proceed to the 4th sound device, consonance. Consonance is a repetition of consonant sounds at the middle or end of at least 2 words in a line of poetry. Consonant sounds pa rin po. Ito po yung letters B, C, D na sinasabi ko kanina. Okay? Yung except sa A, E, I, O, U. Except dun sa 5 yon, consonant sounds na ang lahat ng mga letters. Okay? Let's have, for example, let's try to read this except. He fumbles at your spirit as players at the keys before they drop full music on. He stuns you by degrees. Okay, that is by Emily Dickinson. Let's try to see what's in here. Repetition of consonant sounds at the middle or end of at least 2 words in a line. Ano kaya ang ating makikita dito? As players at the keys. We have there consonant sounds na S, dalawa, and that is found at the end of at least 2 words in a line. Meron pa ba? Yes, we still have he stuns you by degrees. Still ends with the sound S. At nasa dulo sila ng mga salitang nasa iisang linya lamang. So, at the end or at the middle of at least 2 words in a line, consonant sounds, yun po ang mga keywords na dapat tandaan para masabi nating ito ay consonants. Okay? You have key to remember. Same consonant sounds repeated at the beginning of words, alliteration po yan. Same consonant sounds repeated at the end of words, consonants ang tawag dyan. Same vowel sounds repeated at the middle of words, assonance naman po ang tawag dyan. Okay, so I think you got it all right. Another element that we have to understand when we are going to write poems is the figurative language. Figurative language is the use of figure of speech, the use of words in a sense different from their literal definition. Ano kaya ang ibig sabihin nito? Now let's have the most common figure of speech para inyong maintindihan kung ano ang aking sinasabing words in a sense different from their literal definition. Let's begin with number 1, simile. Simile is a comparison between unlike objects that have something in common using words like and as. For example, the clouds are as white as cotton. Okay. Clouds and cotton are 2 different things, but 2 of them are white. So, ikinukumpara mo silang dalawa, unlike objects. Pero mayroon naman silang something in common at gagamitan mo sila ng like or at saka as. Okay, so when you say the clouds are as white as cotton, that is now a simile. That is for example. Another is metaphor. Metaphor is direct comparison of two unlike things that have something in common without using like or as. Ang kaibahan lamang po ng simile at metaphor ay ang paggamit ng like at saka as. Ang simile ay mayroong ginagamit na as or like. Ang metaphor naman po ay hindi gumagamit ng like at saka as. Pero nagkukumpara din sila ng dalawang magkaibang bagay na mayroong something in common. Now, for example, when you say, her brother was a tower of strength during those hard times. Brother, syempre, kaiba sa tower. Malayong-malayo sila sa tower. Pero, dahil sa strength na ito, ibig sabihin, itong si brother ay napakatibay. Singtibay ng tower na ito. Okay? So, her brother was a tower of strength during those hard times. So, napakagandang pakinggan kapag sinabi mong yung brother mo was a tower of strength. And that is metaphor. That is the power of metaphor. Another is personification. Personification is giving of human qualities to animal objects and ideas. Ito naman, from the word personification. Hindi naman sila tao, animal objects or ideas, but you're giving them human qualities. Now, let's say, for example, the leaves whisper their words to each other as the wind passes by. Leaves naman po ang pinag-uusapan natin dito. Ibig sabihin, mga dahon. Pero, sinasabi dito, whisper, bumubulong. Nagbubulungan ba ang mga dahon? So, you're giving this whisper. Tao lang naman yung nagwi-whisper talaga. Pero, you're giving this action of whispering to the leaves. Ito yung tinatawag nating personification. Now, let's proceed with hyperbole. Hyperbole is extreme exaggeration used to make a point. Exaggerated statements or claims not meant to be taken literally, but used tactfully to avoid hurting the feelings of others. Now, let's try to read the example. The car goes faster than the speed of light. Now, para sa science subject natin, yung speed of light, ang light po ang pinakamabilis na mag-travel in space. Okay? So, when you say, the car goes faster than the speed of light, ibig sabihin nun, ang bilis-bilis ng takbo ng kotseng ito. Okay? So, it means it is extreme exaggeration. Exag na exag lang po talaga ang pagkakasabi para ma-imagine natin kung gaano kabilis ang pag-andar ng kotseng ito. Okay? Let's now have the fifth one. Irony. Irony is expression of one's meaning by using language that normally signifies the opposite. Tingnan natin ang ating example. Oh, great! Now you have broken my new camera. Kapag sinabi ko naman ganito, great, akala mo, masaya. But when you look broken my new camera, when you look at this line, have broken my new camera, ibig sabihin nito, hindi ito great. Nakakainis nga ito, di ba? So, it's not great after all. Kaya sinasabing opposite. Sinasabi mo, parang magandang pakinggan, pero iba pala ang kahulugan. Kasalungat pala ang sinasabi mo. You're not really happy because somebody broke your camera. That is irony. And now it's time for us to sum up. Listen to the sentences and try to pick the right answer from the choices. Let's get back to this excerpt from the poem. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude. And then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils. Ang tanong, from the excerpt of the poem above, are there rhyming words at the end of each line? Is it a yes or a no? Your answer is yes. The answer is yes. There are rhyming words in that poem. Which words rhyme? Can you tell me which words rhyme? Correct. The words that rhyme are lie and I, mood, solitude, feels, daffodils. Now let's take a look at this stanza. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. Ang tanong, which of the words in the poem appeal to your sense of sight? Waves beside, jocund company, or sparkling waves? The correct answer is sparkling waves. Now let us have this very famous and one of my favorite tongue twister. Betty Butter bought some butter, but she said the butter's bitter. If I put it in my batter, it will make my batter bitter. In the tongue twister above, which sound device is used? This must be easy. Is it alliteration, consonants, or assonance? The correct answer is correct, alliteration. And now let us try to check this one out. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Which line in the poem uses simile? I wandered lonely as a cloud. Yes, that's correct. Let's try this one. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Which line in the poem uses personification? You got here? Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Oh, why is the answer like that? Now, when you say dancing in the breeze, dancing is an action for a human being, but it only referred to the golden daffodils. That's it for today. Thank you for tuning in and thank you for being in my class once again. Lesson 3 is coming up soon, so please stick around. Still, you are with Teacher Jackie.